Maybe that it'll settle in probably later on tonight or in the morning or something, but I'm just like, I'm in awe. This has been a dream. God is good, and I'm so thankful. I'm grateful for every opportunity. I'm thankful for American Idol. Everybody that's played a big part in this moment. I love you, and I'm just grateful.
Jamal's story is a reminder that not everything that shines is gold. Winning American Idol might look like a fairy tale from the outside, millions of fans cheering, judges standing and clapping, confetti falling from the sky, but behind all of that is a system that isn't built to protect artists like him. It's built to benefit the people who control the contracts, the music rights, the money, and the image. For a while, Jamal stayed quiet. He smiled through interviews, showed up to events, and tried to be the version of himself the industry wanted. But deep down, he felt like he was pretending. He didn't want to seem ungrateful, especially after getting the chance of a lifetime. But he's finally breaking that silence, and now fans are seeing the truth.
The winner of American Idol is Jamal Roberts.
He's not saying he regrets chasing his dream, he's saying no one warned him about the fine print. The label promised a recording deal, but they also took away his creative control. They told him what to sing, what to wear, and how to behave. His songs had to be approved. If they didn't like a track, it didn't get released. Even collaborations with other artists had to go through layers of permission. And that so-called prize money? It was more like a loan than a reward. An advance that had to be earned back before he could even touch most of it. He explained how that $250,000 prize was broken into small chunks, some of it up front, some of it held until albums were delivered and sold. Taxes took a big bite. Managers and agents took their share. Studio time, photo shoots, travel costs, even background dancers? All of that came out of his pocket, not the labels. In the end, he saw less than half of the total money, and most of that was spent before his debut album even dropped. Jamal called it a paycheck with invisible strings.
Like 26 million people voted, took the time out of their schedule to make sure I got this right here. That's an amazing journey. So many people believe in me, and that just gives me that urge to just keep moving and keep pushing.
And when it came time to make music, he was under pressure. The contract said he had to deliver multiple albums, but the label could drop him at any time. He was locked in, but they weren't. He said he felt like he had no voice in the room. He was the artist, but not the decision maker. Then came the touring. People think going on tour means big money and sold-out shows, but that's not the reality for opening acts. Jamal said he was booked on a mid-sized tour, opening for a bigger name. He had to cover his own travel, food, and lodging, not to mention paying his band. After everything, he went home with barely $200. Some nights, he didn't even break even. And streaming? That's another myth. Jamal broke it down. He needs thousands of streams just to make enough for lunch. Platforms like Spotify and Apple Music pay a fraction of a cent per play. Unless you're getting millions of streams, the money adds up slowly, and that's before splitting with your label, managers, and producers.
I think this is the first time that I had peace, like, before I sang, because I usually be like, oh Lord, I gotta do this song, But this time I was like, you know what? Let's just get up there and sing. And I wasn't stressed, I didn't miss no lyrics, I didn't do nothing. It was just a peace that came over me, and I'm thankful for that.
He also tried selling merchandise, shirts, hats, hoodies, but that's a business in itself. He had to design them, manage inventory, package orders, promote the merch, and ship it out. He said, I used to think I was just a singer, but now I realize I'm a small business. And nobody teaches you how to run that. That was the moment that hit fans hardest. Because Jamal didn't grow up with wealth or music industry connections. He grew up in a small house with 3 siblings. His mom worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. He learned to sing in church, practiced with gospel tapes, and saved tips from washing dishes to buy his first mic. He used to record songs in a closet with a $40 microphone. That's the real Jamal, the one fans fell in love with. And that's why his honesty means so much. People don't just support him because he sings well. They support him because he's real. He's been through it. He didn't have shortcuts. He didn't have a team of stylists and songwriters before the show. He was just a kid with a dream and a voice that wouldn't quit. Now, even though he's dealing with contracts and deadlines and financial pressure, he's still showing up. Still trying. Still making music when he can. Still connecting with fans who believe in him. And he's doing it while being open about the mental toll it's taken. He admitted that some days he wakes up feeling drained.
It was one part of the competition where I was like, I think I can chill now a little bit, but she was like, I want to see more, and it was just consistency, and I understood that completely.
The pressure to keep posting, performing, smiling, it's constant. Burnout is real. There were nights he barely slept. Days he wanted to quit. He said he often felt like a puppet covered in glitter, something shiny on the outside, but struggling inside. That's not what winning a show is supposed to feel like. Yet through it all, Jamal's kept one thing, his voice. Not just his singing voice, but his truth. His story. His ability to say, this is who I am, and I'm not going to fake it anymore. That's powerful in an industry built on image. So now, he's at a crossroads. He can keep going with the label, and maybe he'll get a hit. Maybe he'll break through and have a moment that changes everything. But that path comes with restrictions. Less freedom. More pressure. Or he can try going independent. More control, but less support. He'd have to fund his own projects, manage his own releases, handle marketing without the machine behind him. That's not an easy road. But it might be the one that keeps him sane and true to himself. Either way, the road ahead won't be simple. But if one thing's clear, it's this: Jamal isn't just a name on a list of Idol winners anymore. He's a real artist with a real story. And his journey is far from over. Now that the cameras are off and the applause has faded, Jamal is starting the next chapter. And whether that leads to stardom or something different, he's walking into it with his eyes open. No more illusions. No more pretending. Just him, his voice, and a community of people who still believe. So what do you think? Is the American Idol dream broken or just misunderstood? Jamal's story is proof that winning American Idol doesn't always mean you've made it. Sure, the moment he won looked like a dream, millions of fans cheering, judges crying, confetti falling. But what came next wasn't what he expected. And for the first time, he's finally telling us the truth. Behind the glitz, there were contracts, rules, and pressures that few people see. Jamal says he was handed a deal before he even had time to breathe. What looked like a $250,000 prize wasn't a real paycheck, it was an advance. And that money came with strings. A lot of it went to taxes, managers, and production costs. Before he knew it, half of it was gone, and he hadn't even released his first album yet. He didn't get to control his music either. The label made most of the decisions: what songs to sing, what to wear, what to post. Even who he could work with. He couldn't just be an artist anymore. He had to follow a script. And when the cameras turned off, the weight of it all hit him. No more spotlight, no more applause. Just long days, tight schedules, and pressure to perform. What hurt even more was pretending everything was fine. In interviews, he had to smile and say he was living the dream, even when he was exhausted and struggling. He said, "I felt like a puppet with glitter on." That's a powerful image, something that looks shiny on the outside but is hollow inside. Streaming wasn't the answer either. People assume that if your music is on Spotify or Apple Music, you're rich. But Jamal explained the truth: thousands of plays only equal a few dollars. And when you split that with your team, there's not much left. Touring wasn't any better. Jamal joined a small tour, opened for another artist, and after paying for food, travel, and his band, he went home with barely $200. Sometimes, he had to borrow money just to make it to the next city. And yet, through all the stress and confusion, one thing stayed the same: his connection to the fans. People see themselves in Jamal. He wasn't born into fame. He grew up in a tight household, worked hard jobs, and built his voice from scratch. He recorded his first songs in a closet with a $40 mic. That kind of story sticks with people. Jamal's not just another reality show winner. He's a reminder of what's real in an industry full of filters and fake smiles. He said it best himself, "I may not have everything figured out, but I still know who I am. And in this business, that matters." Now, Jamal has choices to make. Stay with the label and follow their rules, or go independent and take back control, even if that means starting from scratch. Either way, the journey won't be easy. The fame from winning a show fades fast. But real connection? That lasts. So, what do you think? Is the American Idol dream broken, or just more complicated than we thought? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to keep up with Jamal's journey and get the real story behind the headlines, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. This isn't the end for Jamal. It's a new beginning, and we'll be watching every step of the way. Is the American Idol dream broken, or just more complicated than we thought? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to keep up with Jamal's journey and get the real story behind the headlines, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. This isn't the end for Jamal. It's a new beginning, and we'll be watching every step of the way.